Thanks for watching the Denison Sports Network, everybody. I'm Andrew Luftglass. The women's golf season gets set to start this Monday in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So we're joined by Big Red women's golf coach Rick Bailey. Now, Coach, the last couple of seasons have brought you a couple talented recruiting classes. Can you tell us about some of the impact freshmen and sophomores on this team?
Well, the easiest thing to do, especially in golf, it all boils down to tournament scores. Before the sophomores and the first years came this year, before that, our average tournament score was about 400. With the sophomores that we have now, with Stacy and Amanda Castle, we've dropped that to 360. And with the two new ones that came in this year for first years, Bryn Fitzgerald and Rebecca Rabb, we've reduced that down to 340. So you can see the impact just in 2 years. We've dropped 60 shots per tournament, which is, that's a pretty good jump.
And of course, we can't neglect the veteran leaders on this team, led by senior Elizabeth Tristano. Can you tell us about the impact of that veteran leadership on a young team?
Well, I think more or less what I look at Elizabeth is she is really, in my opinion, she's the epitome of a student athlete here at Denison University. Okay, she's been playing for 4 years. She's the co-captain. Elizabeth is a very good student. The last time I looked at her, she's like a 3.7 or a 3.8. She's been in every practice. She's participated in almost every tournament. She's just such a great kid. And she's so focused on not only golf, but she's playing golf because she likes to play, she likes to compete. But her number one priority is definitely her education here at Denison. This past week she flew to Southern Illinois University to interview for a graduate assistant. She's been to Miami University, to interview for graduate assistant. And to me, that's what, she is more of a role model of what I like for the other team, members of the team to look at to say, I can get a great education here at Denison, but I can also play my sport.
And your team, your program just received a very generous gift, the state-of-the-art indoor training facility. Could you tell us about some of the features of that facility and how it's helped you train in the off-season?
Well, what it does, as far as training goes, it gives our players, both the men's and women's teams, an opportunity to at least swing the golf club in the winter. In the past, I've taken the ladies down to one of the hitting ranges where they have the overhead heaters, and that didn't work. It's too cold for them. And with this generous gift, we now have a very large 15-foot simulator across the back, and this simulator just gives us more information than we really need. But it's a great place because the purpose of the simulator is that a player can hit a golf shot, and the simulator actually shows the flight of the ball and where it lands. And then it gives us all this information about the angle of attack, the club face angle, the spin of the golf ball. Whereas if you had just a net, now Rodney and I are both PGA professionals, and we believe that just hitting into a net does a little bit more harm than good because you can't see past 10 feet where that ball's going. And then the practice green is just tremendous because what Rodney and I can do with that is at any time we want to change the slopes of the greens and everything like that, we just lift it up and slide some cardboard underneath it, and we change the slope of the green. And this is just going to be such a great tool for both the men's and women's team to at least be able to swing the golf club and see where the ball's going in the winter.
And that must have a terrific impact on your recruiting as well. How's that going to help in the future? The recruits that we've brought into campus that have come in for campus visits and things like that, the first thing we do is take them to the golf room now. Then we talk about the program. And in the past couple of years, the quality of the female athlete, and especially in golf in Division III, their ability has just increased. And these young ladies that are coming to college today, even in Division III, they have their own swing coach and things like that, and they know what the simulator can do for them. And they ask us almost every question. If you're recruiting a young lady from St. Louis, Missouri that I'm recruiting in Chicago, the cold winter months, first thing they ask you is, well, what do you do in the wintertime? And now you say, well, come on down, let's take a look at it. So it's just a tremendous asset, not only for our players, but in the recruiting process.
Well, shifting back to the regular season, the first leg of the NCAC Championship Series will be played in Granville this year. Tell us about what that means to your team, and how does the home course advantage help you?
The home course advantage on our golf course is that our golf course is a 1924 Donald Ross. And you look at a Donald Ross golf course. Donald Ross built the best golf courses in the country. Pinehurst #2, Inverness and Toledo, etc. But Donald Ross, his belief was the game didn't start until 100 yards and in. And if you look at Granville, there's a wide area to hit a tee shot, but when you get up around the greens, you better know what you're doing. We have 9 holes that are uphill, and unfortunately, in the NCAA regulations, we have to play 5,800 yards, but the NCAA doesn't take into consideration any time of topography as far as uphill. We'll play at 5,800 yards on the scorecard, but it might be 6,000, 6,100 that these young ladies have to play. But we've got 3 or 4 holes out there, like number 6, number 13, number 16, where our players will know if the hole's in a certain location, I'm not going to hit it on the green. It's better to be short and chip up than it is to risk those greens.
And Coach, this year marks the 3rd season of women's golf as an NCAC sport. Can you talk about the changes you've seen, the developments since the NCAC adopted the sport?
I did some research on this because I wanted to know for myself, and we use a score reporting company called GolfStat. And what GolfStat does is they will actually give you team rating. They do it 2 different ways. They do a team rating as far as average score for a team, and then they actually do it in head-to-head competition. And just checking the other day, Wittenberg 6, DePaul 7, Allegheny 29, and Denison is 41. That's 4 teams in the top 50 in the country. And it's just getting real competitive, even on our D3 level. And it's just something that everybody's building a better program, and I just think it's tremendous for the NCAC to have women's golf.
You heard it from Coach Rick Bailey, some tough competition for the Big Red women's golf team coming up this spring, and they'll start their spring season on Monday in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. For head coach Rick Bailey, I'm Andrew Lofglass. Thanks for watching the Denison Sports Network.